zip up your members only jacket, crack open a tab, and pause your Walkman as we bring you to the 1980s.
Welcome to the 80s Show podcast, where we talk about all things 1980s. From movies to TV shows, music and stars, fads and fashions, we'll talk about anything and everything to do with the 1980s.
The 1980s, the best decade in decades.
Absolutely. Welcome again to the 80s Show podcast. Thank you for listening. We are your hosts alongside Damien Raffelli. My name is Bill Lassiter. You could always follow us on the social media outlets, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that. You can always email us at 80showpodcast@gmail.com as well.
Yeah, we're at 80 Show Podcast at all the socials.
Yes, and if you go there and you want to fax us, the number's listed on the website, so go ahead.
1-900.
Oh, no, it's not a 900 number, people. All right, so Damien, we've got a good show today. What are we going to start off with?
Well, first of all, we're going to talk about the 1980s classic Breakfast Club and whatever happened to the cast of Breakfast Club.
All right, can't wait for that. Damien and I recently sat down and watched Breakfast Club just to reorient ourselves to that. We're also going to talk about the top music of 1987, Damien. 1987 music.
It's a classic year.
It's in the 80s, so it counts for the podcast.
Yeah, it's right there.
And then we're going to finally round out the episode with some 1980s something trivia.
Yeah, I'm going to see if you got to figure out what year it is. I'm going to give you some clues.
Okay.
We'll see how good your trivia, your knowledge of the 1980s is for this trivia.
Yeah, can't wait for that. And I think I'm 1-1 on these. I think I've been successful at naming the year once and unsuccessful another time. So
yeah, I think it was the very last one you nailed it.
I did.
You got it right on.
It was very exciting to me too. And
it's a 1 in 10 shot. Come on,
it's like I had 10% chance. Yeah. All right,
50% of the time it works. 10% of the time.
I don't think that math tracks, but that's all right. So, Damien, we've got some 1980s in the news, or stuff we're into this week, right, Damien? So let's talk about what you got into a deep dive on something.
Yeah, we're talking about something very topical, 1988 news. Or actually 1987. Actually, my nephew called me this week, and he's a Gen Z guy. And he was talking about Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack, the OG.
Great show. You remember
during the 80s?
Show? Yeah.
Not the Robert Farina bullshit. Right? It was the Robert Stack.
Yeah, Robert Stack.
But there was a mystery in his hometown at like the workplace across the street, and somebody went in there to rob the place. The security guard disappeared. This is in Bradford, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And it was a Corning glass factory, and they stole some platinum. It was weird. It was platinum pipes right out of the walls. And the robbers are gone, and the security guard's gone. They're not sure if the security guard was involved, if he's dead now, because it's been many years past the statute of limitations, and there's some new information about that. So I watched that. It was on YouTube. We should definitely do a little bit more on Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we could also talk about our stellar careers as security guards as well. Luckily, neither one of us was ever captured or whatever.
Yeah, we didn't break any cold cases either, I don't think. Yeah,
I don't think so either.
Yeah, we got paid minimum wage, so we got that going for us.
Yeah, that $4.25 an hour went really far in the early 90s.
And it was very smart to give college kids keys to every door on campus. Very smart idea. Right. Nothing. What could go wrong with that?
What could possibly go wrong?
You know, one other thing I did watch real fast, Bill, was on Netflix. There's a new documentary called The Tylenol Murders. If you remember this was a big deal in the 80s. We were very young.
Yeah, I remember watching the news and them talking about that, and the scare of throw away all your Tylenol because you don't know if it's been poisoned or not.
Yeah, and it's almost an urban legend, because I thought the person had been captured, right? It was just all in the documentary. I thought it was a person in the factory, which is not true, for sure. Not necessarily true. There was also a legend or a theory about somebody who just went into the stores and cracked open the bottles and put some cyanide in there. They're not sure if that's true either. So there's some theories out there. It looks like some good candidates, but that's actually never been prosecuted.
Was I named?
Not yet.
Okay. It would have been tough.
So callers, 1-900 Unsolved Mysteries.
Would have been tough because I was 7. But, who knows?
And just one last thing. Again, it was an 80s week for me, as it always is.
Yeah.
I watched Hercules with...
Oh, yeah. Wait, what?
Well, there was a couple of Hercules movies in the 80s.
Yeah.
Or actually, 70s was with Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
But I watched one from 1983 with Lou Ferrigno.
I do not remember that movie at all, but Lou Ferrigno would make a good Hercules.
And he was the leading man.
Okay, all right. And how was the movie, Damien?
It was interesting. It was filmed in Italy, so they don't do any live. They don't capture live audio in a lot of these like movies from Italy, especially back in the spaghetti western days. And this is not spaghetti western, but it's very close. And they actually had somebody do Lou Ferrigno's voice because he's obviously deaf and can't speak.
Oh, so they overdubbed his.
Yeah. It was like, Bill, I am from the future. I'm calling from Hercules. Actually, it would be the past, but I'm very serious. I will throw this rock at you.
Oh, okay. All right.
It did not fit his body type
okay.
or anything else for that matter. But I will say it was not good.
Okay, question. Was he green?
He was not green.
Oh.
Maybe green with envy, but he was not green.
Okay.
And that was
Bummer.
after watching the Sinbad and the Seven Seas. Again, these were movies that were covered on How Did This Get Made. I actually watched the wrong Hercules movies on that one. That was the one I was supposed to watch with Schwarzenegger. So
there you go. So, all right. So, if you hear some 80s things that are in the news, always let us know. We'd love to cover that here on the 80s Show podcast. Now, speaking of which, the 80s Show podcast, Damien, we are excited to announce we have a brand new sponsor here, the 80s Show podcast, E.F. Hutton.
My broker says that with 2 children to put through college, I should start investing in stocks. What does your broker say?
Well, Frank, my broker's E.F. Hutton, and E.F. Hutton says, when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
All right, Damien. So for our first segment today, we're going to be talking about whatever happened to. We're talking about the cast of The Breakfast Club, a classic movie from the 1980s. In fact, Damien and I just watched it a couple weeks ago, just to kind of refamiliarize ourselves with that story. So first of all, before we get into the cast, why don't you give us some stats about the movie itself?
So when we were first talking about watching this movie, I thought I had never watched it before. But then I looked and I actually owned it and I have watched it. I've watched it before and we rewatched it again.
Yeah.
So before we're talking about how boring it was, we'll talk about the statistics. So it was released in 1985.
Okay. Yeah.
The top 3 movies of 1985. Do you want to take any guesses?
Oh, I know Back to the Future has got to be up there.
Number 1, of course.
Okay. Yeah. I want to say
Axel Foley.
Oh, so it's got to be Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, number 2.
And top 3. Is this
This will be an
85?
ex-veteran who was very just.
Oh, did he have PTSD?
Yeah,
and it just went off.
Yeah, society just
got to
really
be Rambo, First Blood Part 2.
Boom, got it, nailed it. Those were the top 3 movies in 1985.
There we go.
Believe it or not, Breakfast Club was number 13. It was not number 1.
Wow, okay.
But it's still up there, It was a budget of $1 million, and it grossed $46 million domestically. So
that's really good, yeah.
I was a little shocked.
Only $1 million budget, wow.
Yeah, I was really shocked, because, this was not Johnny Hughes' first movie either. Right. I was really shocked to see they only gave him $1 million, plus with all that cast.
Yeah.
A lot of the cast is more, kind of big roles after a breakout role where they actually get paid, but... Right. So it was obviously written and directed by John Hughes.
Yeah.
So reportedly, he wrote the screenplay. And you want to guess how long it took him to write the screenplay?
Probably a couple months.
So it was a decade of cocaine. Take another guess.
Oh, a day.
2 days.
2 days. There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. So as we talked about a few episodes ago, cocaine does drive the 80s. And he wrote how many movies did he write in the 80s?
He wrote so many. So like going on to John Hughes. So he only directed 8 films in the 80s. But he only in the 1980s. He only directed, one's in 91, but he only directed 8 movies total.
And those were all crap movies, I'm guessing.
They were all, dare I say, bangers. They were all really, really good. We're talking 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, She's Having a Baby, Uncle Buck, and then in 91 he also directed a movie called Curly Sue.
He did Home Alone in there somewhere too, right?
Well, that was in 90. Yeah, I think he wrote that. I'm not sure if he directed that. Right. But then he wrote a ton of
those are
movies
he just directed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the ones he directed. And so like you said, Home Alone, all the Home Alone movies. He also wrote Mr. Mom, which is a classic. He also wrote the 3 vacation, besides Vegas Vacation, but the 3 vacation movies.
Including Christmas Vacation,
and
which is one of my favorite movies of all
Oh,
time.
absolutely, absolutely. Great Outdoors he wrote. Obviously Home Alone, like we said, and the sequel, Home Alone 2. And he was prolific with his writing skills. And so sadly he passed away in, I believe, 2006. I'll have to check my notes on that. But
you're saying he's dead, so he's just dead. So
he's not going to sue for defamation.
Yeah, and he's not going to produce any more movies, right?
And it's not
no more 80s reboots. Okay.
No. So, but he really did a ton in that time frame when you think about it.
So he's not going to do like 16 Candles Grandma, right?
No,
Ringwald.
61 Candles. We could do that. No, I don't think he's going to do that. But of course, the original Breakfast Club movie stars some, we would consider all these to be part of the Brat Pack of the 1980s, right, Damien?
I think most of them, yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so it stars Emilio Estevez, Molly Ringwald, Judd Nelson, Ali Sheedy, and Anthony Michael Hall. And so, a lot of them went on to other things. But the thing that Damien and I talked about was interesting because it was really the 80s, the decade of the 80s, where these five actors really made their mark. And then you see them and hear from them a little bit after that, but pretty much the 80s is all you hear from them.
Yeah, most of them are working actors, but they're not carrying a franchise. They're not carrying a movie. They're not carrying a TV show for the most part. They'll guest star or whatever.
Right.
But it's very interesting because a lot of them did carry movies in the 80s, especially with John Hughes.
Yep.
And John Hughes was the 80s. I mean, he made some of the most prolific movies of the 1980s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Including Weird Science. We
didn't say Weird Science.
As a junior high kid, that was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, you loved Weird Science.
By the way, why are we wearing bras on our heads? Ceremonial.
All right, so Damien, let's start. Who do you want to start off with about Where Are They Now?
Let's just start off with one of the more famous people, Emilio Estevez.
Okay.
Comes from a acting family, a nepo baby, if you will.
Whoa, wow, okay, but I don't recognize his last name, Estevez. I don't know a father or mother last name Estevez.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Apparently, Martin Sheen's last name was Estevez, and so is Charlie Sheen's, and the little whitewashing there.
What? I didn't know that. All right, so Emilio Estevez after Breakfast Club, what else did he?
Well, does he have tiger's blood like his brother Charlie? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. He could, but you hear more from Charlie Sheen these days than Emilio Estevez. So
yeah, not always good, but yes, you do.
Yeah, it's true.
So one of the John Hughes movies that came out he came out with a lot of movies in the 80s. They're all back to back to back, and a couple are the same year. Say Elmo's Fire was a big movie that included a lot of the people from this movie as well as the rest of the Brat Pack.
Yeah, absolutely. And St. Elmo's Fire, I think it's funny, Emilio Estevez, I think it's a post-college person. And of course in Breakfast Club, he's a high schooler. So same year, we're going to fast forward about 5 years. So
I think he started a fire at Sam Elmo's. Is that what happened? I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
what that movie was about.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
And, he did some comedies too. He did still in the 80s, Stakeout with Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah,
that was a funny movie.
I like that movie. It's a good buddy cop type situation.
And he did another one with his brother Charlie Sheen. This is like 1990. It's not my notes, but it was they played the Garbage Men. Actually, it was a strange movie.
Men at Work.
Yeah.
That's right. And of course, we also know Emilio Estevez from Young Guns. He played Billy Kid in Young Guns, one of my favorite movies.
Mount Up.
Yeah. Regulators. That's right.
Yeah. There was a rap song that included that,
yeah, and then of course he did have a little franchise with the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, he sure did. Not the actual hockey team, but the before the hockey team came into place. In fact, this is what the hockey team in Anaheim was named after. Originally.
That's right. And he went on to do some other guest starring roles, different things. And what about his personal life there, Damien?
So one thing I forgot, he was actually engaged to one of the Brat Packers, Demi Moore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think they met on St. Elmo's Fire. So yeah.
And do you remember who he married after that? His engagement broke up with Demi Moore?
Oh yeah, the one and only Paula Abdul, baby.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
And so another interesting fact about Emilio Estevez, who plays the jock in Breakfast Club, because everybody has their own identity.
He was like a wrestler, right? Was
yeah,
it?
he was a wrestler. Yeah, he was a wrestler. Well, one of the funny things was he was actually originally cast as Bender, the badass, but he was recast as a jock because he just didn't have that bad boy energy that that Bender had in the movie. So
He's no Charlie Sheen. Yeah, he's no Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, he's not as bad as his brother. So, anyway, so that's a little bit about Emilio Estevez. Where do you want to go next here, Damien?
Let's go to the redhead herself, Molly Ringwald.
All right, Molly Ringwald
Played Claire.
Played Claire, the princess. She was the princess in the movie.
Yeah, that's one of the things that was really fun. I just to break it up real fast, was how John Hughes really just got all the different subcultures of 80s high school in there.
Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. And you see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain,
And an athlete.
And a basket case. A princess.
and a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, Breakfast Club.
That was one thing John Hughes was really good at, is just encapsulating the 80s and the subcultures and making that real. I don't know how he captured all that.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the theme of the movie is even though we look different or maybe have different interests, we're actually more alike than we seem on the outside.
Yeah, like with Bender, they were always trying to protect him. Even then, when he went crazy and he was causing problems, even when the teacher brought him in and locked him in a closet and he went through the roof and dropped down, they all like pretend they didn't know what happened.
Right.
And even though he was a jerk to them and bullied them, they still protected him because he was still worse than the teachers and the parents.
Right, exactly. And so, so as far as Molly Ringwald goes, she actually broke into acting. Do you know where, Damien?
What you talking about?
That's yeah. She actually guest starred on Different Strokes and Facts of Life, which I found that out. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then of course the year before Breakfast Club, 16 Candles came out, and that was kind of her breakout role
With her castmate in Breakfast Club, Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall, yeah, absolutely. And then of course she went on to Pretty in Pink, another John Hughes movie. In fact, John Hughes called Molly Ringwald his muse, which I don't know, Damien. I feel a little icky about that in the sense that
She was a high school age, and he was much older. Yeah,
yeah. So so she starred in 3 of those John Hughes movies.
it was the 80s. It was fun.
Yeah,
Nobody
16
cared.
Candles, Pretty in Pink, and of course Breakfast Club. And she actually one of the things that there was rumor, and we're not the podcast of record here, Damien, but there's rumors that Molly Ringwald had a falling out with John Hughes in the 80s because she turned down a role in the movie Some Kind of Wonderful. But Hughes still referred to her as his muse.
And maybe that's why she turned it down.
And maybe that's why she turned it down.
I will say she still looks amazing right now. I saw a picture of her recently. She still looks great.
Yeah. And so nowadays, besides acting, she's a published author. She's actually a jazz singer. I don't know, that it's kind of interesting, right? And,
For her, I'd love to hear her music. Yeah.
and she's fluent in French. Not that matters, but another interesting fact, Damien, is that in the early 90s, she passed on a role that eventually went to Julia Roberts, the role in Pretty Woman.
Ooh, that's a big miss. That's maybe why she kind of her career faltered after.
Yeah,
the 80s.
yeah.
That's a big miss, right?
Kind of
there.
wonder what would have happened with Molly Ringwald in that role.
I could see her in that role. Actually, sometimes I don't see the actresses or actors in the role, but that one I could see her doing really well in.
I can too, and so. So anyway, yeah, she spends her time acting, here and there, and she, like I said, she's a published author and a jazz singer. All right, Damien, who do you want to find out about next? Where they went?
Let's not talk about the bully.
Okay, let's talk
Bender.
about Bender, Judd Nelson,
yeah.
the criminal, as in the letter at the end of the movie, the criminal. And so the one thing that we learned about was that another star of some 80s teen movies. John Cusack actually tried out for the role of Bender.
Better Off Dead. How about that?
Yeah. I
He's
can't
classic 80s.
I can't imagine John Cusack in this role as the badass,
I can, just because I love John Cusack. I'm not sure he was made as good of a bully Judd Nelson did, but I love John Cusack. I think he could do pretty much anything.
Yeah, I mean,
he's pretty good range.
He is pretty talented. But
I want my $2.
I love that movie. So anyway, Judd Nelson, he was actually almost fired from the Breakfast Club because apparently he was too method. Apparently he was like being a bully to the rest of the cast, which is great,
including Molly Ringwald, which he was a lot on in the movie. And I talk a lot about method acting, and we think it's funny, but it's also a little crazy when they bring that off stage like that. Especially when you're like a teenager and you're getting harassed by somebody like that. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, he did study philosophy at Yale. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, Judd Nelson studied philosophy at Yale before dropping out to act. Probably should have stuck with philosophy. I don't know.
Probably
not getting a lot of roles now. And also in an 80s nod, he was the voice of Hot Rod in the Transformers movie in 1986.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yes,
that's awesome. Love Transformers.
That's Judd Nelson right there.
He was also in St. Elmo's Fire with Molly Ringwald and Ali Sheedy, was it?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it was a John Hughes movie, right? Yeah. Okay. John Hughes did so many movies in the 80s that started hard to track.
I know.
So many big movies. So yeah, they all did reunite after this. So there must have been not too much of animosity between the actors.
Yeah. So,
and one of the scenes just that really struck me when I was watching the Breakfast Club again was the was a principal or a teacher, whatever he was. So Bender gets dragged into this closet, like,
right,
and he gets, and then the teacher takes a fist. He's about to punch him, right?
Yeah.
And then I read afterwards that the actor Judd Nelson's flinch was real because he thought if the actor was going to punch him in real life. But that was 80s, like teachers. You never knew if a teacher was going to threaten you to punch you or like it's. Can you imagine if like Gen Z was like today? I mean, they can't handle a microaggression. Are you kidding me? They're like, oh, I'm triggered because you raised your voice one octave higher. Kind of stuff we went through. I think these kids can't have no idea.
Oh man,
teachers could literally beat you in the 80s still. And that was public school. Forget about private, like Catholic school. They definitely could beat you.
All right, so there you go. The other thing that was improvised by Judd Nelson, the very last scene in the movie when he's raising his fist in the air as he's walking across the football field, that was improvised by Judd Nelson. That's how the movie ends, and it's a great scene. All right, so we're gonna move on to Ali Sheedy, who plays.
So we're gonna talk about her dialogue right now, right?
Okay, so
half an hour dialogue.
So Damien was like, we were watching it, and he goes, has she said anything yet? I'm like, nope. And so Damien, do you remember the first words that she said in the movie?
It was close to a half an hour in, and she's
33 minutes in.
I know she laughed, but I'm trying to remember the first thing she said. I can't remember, but it was really far into it.
The first word she said, one of your favorite words, Damien, vodka.
Oh, that's it. There we go.
How
did I forget that?
They were asking what she has in her thermos, and she said vodka.
Speaking of that, let me have a sip right now.
Okay, so actress Ali Sheedy, she had her first big breakout role with Matthew Broderick in the movie War Games.
Shall we play a game?
Yeah, that's another movie we're gonna have to review here on the podcast.
And of course, was mentioned earlier, she was in St. Elmo's Fire.
Yep, St. Elmo's Fire.
And let's talk about another great racist movie, Johnny Five. Steve Gutenberg.
Oh yeah.
We covered this in the Steve Gutenberg episode.
Short Circuit. And she was great in that as well, playing Steve Gutenberg's kind of love interest in that. And then you kind of didn't hear from her for a long time, Damien. She's apparently now she's like she's a poet. She published a book of poetry when she was in her teens. And she was kind of that goth girl before goth girls were a thing. You know what I mean, Damien?
Yeah. I'm a poet too. I've published 10 books on poetry. Nobody's ever read them. I've never made any money, but I'm a poet. I can call myself a poet. I'm self-published on Amazon.
There you go. So you look it up. Look it up, people. And so the other thing is she did go on to mentor young actors. She was even on.
I'm sure she did.
She was even on one of your favorite shows, The L Word.
The L Word. Leave it to Beaver. What are you talking about?
Anyway, we want to keep our clean rating here. The 80s Show podcast, Damien. Oh gosh,
we're gonna leave the Skinamax episodes to the
So William Cat,
the 80s Show podcast after dark episodes.
Yeah, there we go. So anyway, that's a little bit about Ali Sheedy, and then finally our last detainee in detention. Oh, and I also think the funny part about Ali Sheedy's character is she didn't actually have to come to detention on Saturday. She just decided to go there,
just because she was a freak.
Yeah.
One of some friends, yeah.
And so last but not least, of course, is Anthony Michael Hall.
Dude, classic 80s actor. I mean, he was in so many things.
Yeah.
Beginning in the early 80s, including, I don't know if it was PG-13 or rated R, but it was one of the first movies I saw that was not PG in the theater. Vacation.
Yep. He was the original Rusty Griswold in Vacation.
You know that stuff, Leonard from Big Bang Theory. He was the OG Rusty Griswold.
That's right. And then, of course, one of your favorite movies, and a movie that we don't think could be made today, Weird Science, right? He was one of the kids in Weird Science.
Oddly enough, that was one of my favorite movies from the 80s as a young boy, man. And, yes.
I don't know why.
I have no idea why.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Definitely a movie you could not make again today, but I do want to cover that movie on a podcast episode.
Yes, I think we should.
Because I do like your idea of covering movies that could never be made again. I'm going to guess that's a lot of movies in the 80s.
Yeah, there's a lot. And then the other thing was he got cast with Robert Downey Jr. on SNL for one season. He was 17 years old when he was on that.
When I read that before, because I do remember, I didn't know he was cast in that, but I do know Robert Downey Jr. was cast. And he was a couple years older than him.
Yeah.
And it was just a really big mistake. And they were both, or at least Robert Downey Jr. was hardcore on drugs. But I don't think either of them were actually comedians or actors that could have comedic timing, right? That's very different.
Yeah, they call that, I think that's one of those lost years they call on SNL, where then they changed the whole cast the next year or something like that. So now, so he's currently still a working actor. He hasn't really carried any movies or anything like that. But in the early 2000s, he was actually considered for the role of Tony Stark in the Avengers movies.
Yeah, it would change his career. Get Robert Downey Jr. versus him.
But would the Avengers be the Avengers if Anthony Michael Hall was in the lead role as Iron Man?
It's hard to see him versus Robert Downey Jr. But you know what? I would like to see him give him a shot.
Maybe there's like an alternate universe. I mean, that's all the multiverse is what the Avengers are about, right?
He definitely went the opposite way of like the 80s. Like he was a super skinny, like short, small kid, right? Yeah. And then he got I'm not sure if he's got buff from working out or just alcoholism.
Wow.
But he's very thick now. And just on the last Reacher season of Reacher, he played one of the main characters on that. And his neck is like 10 times as thick as it was when he was a kid.
Yeah.
He's still a good actor. I'll give you that. He's still a good actor.
He was good in Reacher, and it took me a while to realize that was him. Actually, I kept saying, "Oh, that guy looks familiar. He's definitely not the geeky, redhead kid that he was in those 80s movies. But he's the other thing, he did play actually in the movie Pirates of Silicon Valley. He played Bill Gates.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So I haven't seen that. It'd be interesting to see that. So
what's John Hughes up to now?
Is up to 6 feet under. I don't know.
He's not.
He's not. He's not with us anymore.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, of course, if you would like to hear another segment of where they are now, from a different 80s movie or 80s TV show or something like that, please hit us up at 80showpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to feature your idea in a future segment.
Next up, it's a top music from 1987. So, Bill, what do we have?
All right, so Damien, what I'm going to do is kind of run through the top 100. Well, I'm not going to do all 100 songs, Damien. Don't look at me like that. But I'm going to just talk about some of the songs that hit Billboard's top 100 in 1987.
Was it Amy Grant?
She might be on here. I haven't seen her name yet, but we'll see. So anyway, not counting them all the way down, but number 98 is a song that I know you know. Because you've done this before in your life.
Was this Striper?
It's not Striper. It is from the Beastie Boys, however, and it's a struggle to do something. It almost be like a boxing match. What's a boxing match, Damien?
It's a struggle just to live?
Nope. It's a fight.
I'm thinking about
for your right.
I'm gonna fight for my right to be intelligent.
Party. Come on,
okay.
Damien. Come on. You got to fight for your right to party. Beastie Boys, number 98 in.
Does very similar to DC Talk's fight to right to be a Christian in 1987.
Oh my gosh!
It was original music by the DC Talk.
As we scoot up the list here, number 74. One of my favorite songs. I sing this at karaoke every once in a while. Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive. I know you know that song, Damien.
I do. It's one of my favorite songs. And it's actually one of my favorite songs as a intro to a reality show now.
Oh, is that right?
We're not old, but yeah, that's just how things are.
All right. And then as we move on up the charts, this is interesting. I found this one because it's actually a song that was made in the 50s. But became popular again in the 80s because of a movie by Stephen King, or it was written by Stephen King, about some kids that go and find a dead body.
I'm thinking it's Bebop, Doodle,
Stand By Me.
Dead body on the train tracks.
No, yeah, there was the train tracks. Yeah,
Bob Diddley. That was that one, right?
Yeah, Stand By Me by Benny King was number 67 on 1987. One of my favorite movies, Stand By Me. Damon, do you like that movie?
I did like that movie. It's a great movie. It's just a lot of great actors in that movie, too, that became big.
Yep, absolutely.
And who doesn't find a dead body when they were, a kid? We all found dead bodies. I mean, how many dead bodies did you find when you were walking around, right?
At least 4.
Yeah.
At least 4. So,
that was just in my house.
Michael Jackson's Bad was number 59 in 1987, which I thought was pretty low, but it didn't come out till later in the year, so it gained popularity throughout. So
that wasn't one of his best songs, to be honest with you.
Bad?
It wasn't one of his best songs.
Probably not.
It was good, but it wasn't his best.
It's a great Weird Al Yankovic parody. Fat. That's a great one. So. And of course we have, you know what? I forgot there's one way down here that I want to tell you about. Okay. So Damien, there was a song written in performed in 1987. And it was called Respect Yourself. And it was made by, and I don't even remember this, but I just saw this on the list. It's made by
Milli Vanilli.
80s. No, it was made by an 80s actor, famous 80s
Michael J.
actor.
Fox.
Nope, not Michael J. Fox. This guy, my favorite Christmas movie.
Anthony Michael Hall.
My favorite Christmas
Bill Cosby.
movie. No, not Bill Cosby. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis actually had a song on the top 100 Billboard.
I do remember this. I think we were talking about a moonlighting episode.
Yeah.
And I do remember that he did some music, but I had no idea he was on one of the top
he was
any charts of anything.
Top 100. So, of course, 87 also U2 hit it big with their album Joshua Tree, and I still haven't found what I'm looking for, and With or Without You hit the top 20. And another classic like rock song from the 80s from Billy Idol, Moni Moni. Moni Moni. You got nothing. Damien's never heard of it.
I've got nothing on that one.
Damien's never heard of it. Damien, if I were to say the line, everybody have fun tonight, everybody
party tonight.
Wang Chung tonight.
Wang
Wang
Chung.
Chung came up with the hit in 1987 with Damien did not listen to music.
I'm not racist. I can't say Wang Chung. I'm a white guy.
Okay, so anyway, top cracking the Another song that was big in the 50s that also made an appearance in the top 15 in the 80s was sung by a band called Los Lobos, which is La Bamba from the movie La Bamba with Richie Valens, or with about Richie Valens, starring
the guy that played Richie
Neil,
Valens.
Lou Diamond Phillips. Lou Diamond Phillips. There we go. All right, so
of Young Guns fame, of course.
So one of my favorite songs of all time, honestly, well, "Living on a Prayer" also, or "Live In," because it's "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi is number 10.
Yeah, we don't care about grammar when we're talking about rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, that's right. But this is a song by a band called Whitesnake that, Damien, when I had my heart broken in the early 90s, I used to put this song on the tape and play it over and over again. Here I go again on my own, walking down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. Yes, Damien.
That's actually one of my favorite songs, believe it or not, because I was born to walk alone.
That's true. And so, cracking the top 5, this one actually won the Grammy for Best Song, is "I Want to Dance with Somebody" by Whitney Houston. And the number 1 song of 1987, Damien. All right, so let me try to give you a hint on this one. Damien, think of an ancient people group and how you would get from one place to another.
It sounds like a setup.
Nope, it's an ancient people group. I mean, not ancient; they're still around today. But and how you would get from one place to another?
Would you walk a certain way?
You would walk a certain way, Damien. Oh, he's got it.
Would you walk like an Egyptian?
You would not walk like an Egyptian. Yes, Damien. That was the number 1 song in 1987. Nice, you nailed it, dude. All right, so there's a little walk down memory lane with like an Egyptian through the songs, the popular songs of 1987. Yeah, I think we should do this again. Of course, you're no help in this segment at all.
Yeah, no. So now we're going to talk about the top Christian hits of 1987. We're going to talk about Petra.
Yeah, I remember Petra actually. Yeah, okay.
All right, we're going to move on because
there's a very small percentage of our listeners that know this stuff, but. Yeah, so let us know what you think about these top songs of 1987. All right, everybody, our next segment is 1980-something, where Damien's going to try to give me some clues about a specific year, 1980-something, and I have to come up with the actual year. All right, Damien?
Okay, the year was 1980-something. So it's going to be a little bit like Trivia Pursuit today.
Okay.
So we have clues in different categories, and you select a category, and I'll read you a clue.
Okay. All right.
We have fashion, sports, movies, economic, and music top Billboard. I will say sports might make it a little too easy for you.
Yeah, I was thinking I should probably hold off on that unless I don't know it yet, right?
How about fashion?
Let's go fashion. We'll go fashion.
Swatch was all the rage. It was the watch with bold colors. Remember that?
I remember the Swatch,
Yeah, Swatch was the watch.
Yeah, I remember swatches.
So that was the year it came out.
But I feel like, that was the year it came out. I was like, I feel like swatches were big all throughout the 80s. So, okay.
But it was definitely within the decade. So you're down to 10 years. All right.
Okay.
All right. How about economic? Can we go with that? Or you want it's your choice?
We
got music or movies or economic?
Let's do economic.
Gas was $1.16. Because you know the year, so I'm making no sense for you to guess.
That doesn't help me at all.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the movie ticket price in 1980-something. Movie ticket was $3.15.
Okay, $3.15. Yeah.
Okay, how about some... Let's go to...
I'm floating. I'm thinking mid-80s at this point, but I'm not sure.
You're within 10 years. All right, so let's go for movies. So DC Cab with Mr. T was released.
Oh, man. So I got to feel like this is after Rocky 3. Because he became big in Rocky 3. Okay.
Or was this his movie debut? You don't know. Which was a bigger movie, DC Cab or...
Well, Rocky 3 was a bigger movie,
dude. Maybe I'm just confused.
Okay. I don't... Gosh, I don't remember that movie very much. I just remember the picture.
I've seen it many, many times, sadly.
Of course you have. Ooh, okay.
It's literally Mr. T driving a cab in New York City.
I've got it. Wait, in New York, isn't it DC cab? Is it in Washington,
Oh, it was
DC?
DC. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
It's right. It was in the name.
Or is DC his name?
No, it was in DC, right?
Okay.
But they were the old school, like, 50s cabs. So it was almost like the TV show. Yeah, Taxi. Yeah.
All right. So I don't have a guess yet. So.
All right. So another movie. We'll go movie blues. The Smurfs, The Magic Flute was released.
What the hell? I don't ever remember seeing a Smurfs movie in the 1980s. It's got to be like a made-for-TV movie or something.
That when I pulled out, it was random, right? So,
okay.
How about this? Porky's 2, the next day released.
Porky's 2.
So Porky's 2 the next day.
Speaking of movies you can't make in the today that you made in the 80s. All right.
One more movie clue.
Okay.
This one's a little more specific. There were 2 James Bond movies with different lead actors released this year. So Octopussy with Roger Moore, and then Never Say Never Again
with Timothy Dalton, right?
No, it was with the original.
What?
No, it was with the original.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
In the same year?
Yeah, same year. Yeah. Oddly enough,
that doesn't sound right.
Yes, I'm telling you, this year, 2 James Bond movies were released with the same James Bond movies, different actors. So you got Octopussy.
Okay.
Never Say Never Again.
So that's Sean Connery?
Yeah, Sean Connery came back for this one, and I think this is Roger Moore's first movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, I don't know. So now I'm thinking more early 80s than mid 80s.
Okay. So do you want to go music or do you want to go sports? Because you're going to get this.
Let's go music.
Okay. The number 17 music song in the top Billboard 100 was Hungry Like a Wolf by Duran Duran.
Okay.
So not too deep.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
And we just did this because we did Teen Wolf 6 weeks back, 5 or 6 weeks back.
Yeah.
So we use this song a lot.
All right. I'm not guessing yet until
All right, I'm going to narrow it down.
sure.
The number 2 song, okay, let's get it closer,
Okay.
was Billie Jean by, of course, Michael Jackson.
Okay.
And I'll just go to the number 1 song, Every Breath You Breathe by The Police.
Okay. So now I'm thinking more early 80s than mid 80s.
Yeah.
Maybe DC Cab did come out before Rocky 3. Oh, you're really screwing my head right now, Damien.
I'm just going to tell you it did, all right? I think this is his big first movie. All right, so let's go to sports, make it a little bit easier for you. I'm going to back into it because there's one I know you're going to get. So this year, in 1980-something, the 76ers beat the Lakers.
Okay.
The Orioles won the World Series against the Phillies.
Okay.
And the Redskins, now called the Commanders, beat the Dolphins in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
This is where I thought you might get it. Because I know you're a
So now I
Dolphins fan.
know it's early. It's like 81, 82. Gosh.
So that's all the clues I have right now.
Man. Okay.
I can tell you a couple
the
things.
DC Cab thing is really screwing me
Star
up.
Search, I think, was on this year.
Okay.
Cabbage Patch Dolls came out that year, that Christmas.
Must be 83.
And
Dang it,
you
dude.
love your Cabbage Patch Dolls. We already heard that in early episodes.
True.
So, all right, come. I know you're right there.
Oh my gosh, it's got to be 82. Wait, okay, so the Orioles won the World Series. 82 was the. Oh, shoot. I think 81 was the Dodgers.
The Redskins beat the Dolphins. Come on, you were a big Dolphins fan.
I know. Oh, so that was Marino's first year then. That was 83, 84. I'm going to go with 1984.
Oh, you just missed.
Was
You
it
were
83?
Right on it. You're right on it. Yeah.
83. Oh man, because
Yeah.
I know Rocky
right
3
on it.
came out in 83, so I thought maybe I'd go the next year. Okay.
You're right. You're right on it. It came out in 1983. All right. So let's just talk about a couple other trivia questions from 1983. Who hosted Star Search from 1983 to 1995?
Ed McMahon.
Dude, that was an easy one. I was going to give you some
no,
help
I
on
know
that. Okay.
one. I know
All right.
that one.
So this is a little bit of a deeper cut. Who
Okay.
directed Staying Alive, which was the sequel to Saturday Night Live, starring John Travolta, which Staying Alive also starred.
Gosh,
So who directed this? This is a deep cut. I've heard this recently.
I heard this recently too. Oh man, is it one of the Top Gun guys?
He directed and wrote a lot of stuff in the 80s and starred in a lot of stuff in the 80s.
Wrote and starred stuff in the 80s?
Wrote, starred, and directed,
Wasn't John Travolta.
including a movie I mentioned That came out in 1983.
DC Cab?
No.
Mr. T? Mr. T did it?
Oh, I forgot to mention this was. Oh, actually, this was an 82 movie. I forgot to mention. Sorry, it was a different movie, a different year. But he came out with a movie within 1 year of this.
I don't know.
It was Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Rambo
Makes sense. Yeah.
So, okay, and then we already mentioned Cabbage Patch Dolls came out.
Yeah.
In 83. So yeah, that was 1983, and you're really close, man. You said 83 before. You're right in the bubble. You almost got it. I knew you were going to get it close with the Dolphins.
The DC
reference.
Cab thing really screwed me up, and then
that's a fun movie to watch. It's so stated, but that was, I think, his first big movie. It was definitely before Rambo 3, as far as
Rocky 3
before getting directed. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. 1980 something.
Thanks for listening to this episode of 80 Show Podcast. In our next episode, we have a few great segments coming up. The first off is our favorite 80s Spielberg movies.
All right. Yeah, that sounds great. Next, we're going to do an 80s fashion segment, Damien. The top 5 80s fashion trends. Pull up your leg warmers, everybody.
And finally, we've got their favorite Saturday morning cartoons, which were a lot of them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And so the other thing that we... Oh, shoot. What does that sound, Damien?
Oh, it's our fax machine again.
Okay. All right.
I thought I unplugged it, man. I really did.
Okay. So, let me read this. E.F. Hutton is no longer a sponsor of the 80 Show Podcast. Oh, my gosh. What happened?
Apparently, they weren't too big to fail.
Wow. Yeah. They went bankrupt, and they're part of a Ponzi scheme, it looks like.
E.F. Hutton spoke, and we listened. They're bankrupt.
There you go. Well, if you want to sponsor this podcast, you can always hit us up at email, 80showpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram on 80 Show Podcast. Please tell your friends about us. We'd love to have more listeners. Rate us on wherever you get your podcasts from.
Yeah, it's super easy to rate us. Just hit those 3 dots on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Just rate us 5 stars. You don't even have to write anything nowadays. Just 5 stars. Just do it right in this second.
Yeah. Just do what you've been told, right?
I'm Damien Urfelli. We're all pretty bizarre. Some of us are just better at hiding it. That's all.
All right, and alongside Damien, I'm Bill Lassiter, and here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. Made up my mind. I ain't wasting no more time. Here I go again.
Theme song composed by my good friend, fellow rock star, straight out of Bakersfield. You may also know him from the band Videodrone, Mark Russell Davis.